thought that maybe we'll be produced to court tomorrow. And no, it was another different story, where the court was in that room where you were. In case, instead of you going before a judge or magistrate, you were before a police officer torturing you.
So, how do you process this disconnect between the people and the government? The reports given by the government and the reports that were given by the people?
I think since Ruto got into power, he has defied more than, I don't know, it is now 100 court orders or how many court orders that have been defied in this country.
Yeah.
So it is like normal. Utadu, I'm in the power. The power. You see, we are abusing the power. People have never realized that they're acting on a borrowed power.
Ladies and gentlemen, the events of June 25th remind us of state violence and also the resilience that the young generation carry to this day. And what was meant to be a peaceful commemoration of the Gen Zs that happened to lose their lives in 2024 and 2025 turned out to be a stark reality of police brutality, roadblocks, and more so with the arrest of over 350 people along the streets. And joining me for this discussion on the Majority podcast is Otieno, a victim of the abduction that happened during the second commemoration of the Gen Zs, and Habib Omar, a human rights defender. Karibu sana. So, to begin off, Collins, you sit among us as one of the people that were abducted on that day, according to the record that were given and according to the visual that happened to be written on that day. So, just giving an account, how did you find yourself on the streets, given that we had so many of the roadblocks along the way?
My name is Otieno. I'm a human rights defender and a victim of abduction that happened recently during a second commemoration, 25th June 2026. That day, it was a beautiful day for me, as I can say. And as you have said, that day there was a huge roadblock, a heavy police presence around town, around where people, outside town also. You couldn't enter town easily. That day I woke up very early in the morning. It was around 5. I started preparing myself on how I can reach town. That day matatu was, to find matatu was so difficult. So I used boda, where when I reached Kariako, roundabout Kariako, I found a heavy police roadblock there. There was a huge police roadblock. They were stopping people not to enter town. So I told the boda to drop me. I paid him, and the civilian police tried to arrest me. And I ran away, going back again where I came from. So I planned again, and I found my way to town without any disturbance. I followed the longest route possible. Yeah.
So, sorry, just giving your narration with how you found yourself to town. It was a commemoration of the Gen Zs. So what is this thing that kept you on the move for you to be like, yes, I must find myself within the town?
In 2024, I was also among protesters who entered parliament. And if you could have seen how young people were killed, it gave me power, more strength to show solidarity, any solidarity needed for us, for these young people to get justice. That day was it was not a normal day for me. So that's what pushed me a lot. We started our protest peacefully, singing revolutionary songs. In Kiswahili we say wimbo wa mapambano. We walked peacefully. We were around 40 comrades. We reached parliament roundabout Basilica, where Basilica is. The police were many than Kenyans who were protesting. There was a huge police presence there. We were chased with horses. The police were beating us, chasing us, blocking us not to pass the other side. And on that side, we are listening, we are hearing the noise because Kalonzo Musyoka, they had a vehicle with sound. And they arrived at the parliament. Immediately they laid flowers and they left. They did not stay. And at that time they were going, we found our way in, up to where barbed wire was. And also us, we laid flowers peacefully. And the commander, one of the commanders of the police, told us now to go, that we have done our part. And one commander also ordered the horse officers, the officers with horse, to come and chase us away. Me and a group of 4 people, we decided we are not going to run. So we sat down. After sitting down, we were protecting ourselves with the flags. Immediately I saw men with masks, with gloves. Some of them were with guns. Immediately they came and surrounded us, and they started grabbing us. They were stepping on us, beating us, slapping us, until they managed to arrest 6 of us. Normally, if they arrest us, they used to take us to police stations. I was like, what is happening? Why are we passing Central Police Station today? They were beating us. So I started losing hope. The driver communicated with these police officers, telling them to drop us. They were pushing us, falling down from a lorry to the ground, until all of us were out. Immediately they left. We were trying to reconnect ourselves. Where are we? Because we didn't know where we are at that time. One of us checked his phone. It was around 1:30. Immediately, through Subarus came, cocking their guns, telling us nobody should run. And that is the time they started chaining us, and they tied my eyes with a piece of cloth, and they were beating me with their boots, with their legs, telling me to keep quiet, not to look outside. 2 of my fellow activists also were in the same vehicle, Subaru, that I was in. So I didn't know where they were taking us because my eyes was tied. They took us into a room. The room was so dark. After that, he removed my cloth, my t-shirt, and told me to put my hands at the back of the chair. Where he chained me, he started questioning me. Who is funding you? Who is giving you money to come and destroy the government? Why do you want to destroy the government? Who is behind all this? And by the time he was asking me those questions, he was beating me already, slapping me, hitting me with a pipe. So I was telling him I'm the one who used to bring myself to a protest. Nobody has ever invited me to come to a protest. I used to come willingly. The t-shirts, I'm the one who printed. He continued beating me.
Maybe till there, Collins, you happen to give the bitter narration, how you got yourself to the streets and everything that happened, transpired, until you got yourself to that situation whereby it seems to be a bitter situation. And Habib, directing this question to you. During that day, the government happened to comment the police force for having done a good job barricading all the roads, maintaining order within town, because to some extent, I feel the expectation was business are going to be destroyed or something of the sort. And literally the promise that had been given earlier was it's business as usual, but people woke up to roads being blocked. So how do you process this disconnect between the people and the government? The reports given by the government and the reports that were given by the people?
So thank you so much. My name is Habib Omar. I serve at Karabangi Social Justice Center, which is a human rights community-based organization. Mainly we organize community, and particularly for us, I was in town on that particular day, just like any other Kenyan who was on the street, just to be able, that particular day was a day to be able to commemorate, remember, and pray, and also demand accountability for young people. Over 60 people who were killed during the year 2024 on 25th June. Unfortunately, first of all, is to sympathize with Collins, because no one should go through such inhumane torture, disappearance, because Collins, with the likes of others, were arrested in full glare of media along Parliament Road, bungled into a police vehicle, all of a sudden, then now, again handed over to their tormentors. But up to date, no action has been taken. We haven't even seen police moving swiftly to be able to investigate and try to be able to find what actually happened. What we have seen is a mockery. PS Raymond Omolo coming and saying that nobody was abducted. These were busy people sleeping in their houses. Even in fact, he alluded that since Ruto came into power, nobody has been abducted, which is untrue. We have seen people being abducted, including I was even trying to ask Gabriel Oguda, who is now part of this regime and celebrating the broad-based government. It is within his rights, but I was even trying to be able to understand, because he was abducted too.
Yes.
Yes, he was abducted by police, taken round later on at Kajiado police station later on. So it is very unfortunate, because on that particular day, a notice was served as required by law, because you do not need the police to guarantee you the permission to be able to exercise your right as outlined in Article 37 of the Constitution. What you need to be able to do is to notify them. The purpose of notification is for them to provide you with security, to ensure your safety when you're now exercising your right, and to ensure that also those others who are not demonstrating are protected. But that was not the case. What we saw, the roads were barricaded, blocked. You could not be able to access town, all the way from Thika Road, all the way from the other end. People from Western could not be able to come. They even blocked the road as far as Mlolongo. By 4 in the morning, all roads were closed and you could not be able to access town. This again is contrary to the court order that prohibited police from blocking the roads during peaceful demonstrations. It is very unfortunate it is happening. There is the disregard of the rule of law. We are counting for them, there were 7 of them. Later on, 3 of them were released, 3 of them, and then later on, Davis Lechuma, who we looked for days from one police station to the other, went to Kenyatta Hospital, where again later he was dumped. Went to Mama Lucy Hospital, we went to Mama Margaret Kenyatta Hospital. Diffre was nowhere to be found until we filed in a missing person case with the mother. At that particular time, the mother was dejected, because at that particular time she was still struggling to find a way on how she can be able to lay to rest her elder daughter. Davis Lechuma's sister died. So you see the pain parents are going through. In the process, we are still talking about Zizu. We have seen in Mathare constituency, Kiamaiko, there is Zizu, Malango, there is Maxi, Kiare, who up to date have not been found. There is Moses in Utali. So we are seeing a new pattern of abduction. And it is the police at the end of the day, because it is the police who are have the obligation to be able to protect Kenyans. So if Kenyans are missing and being abducted, and the truth is, these people are being abducted by police as much as they want to claim that they're not the ones responsible. But even if they were, in quotes, not responsible, what are they doing? Are we turning Kenyan to be another gangland? A banana republic where people can just be able to operate and do whatever they're doing? So it's very unfortunate, because even during the peaceful protest, when people from Kiamaiko were demonstrating, we saw, yes, there was peaceful demonstration in demand for the release and to understand the whereabouts of Zizu, because Abdulaziz Mulo alias Zizu was actually arrested around Juja. He was there. The rest of other people who he was with were left, but he was the one who was picked. Later on, we are seeing narratives of NIS and even the DCI saying that he was a criminal and all that. But we are seeing, we have laws. A suspect is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So rather than using unlawful means, abduction, to target Kenyans, why don't you, if I've committed a crime, the best procedure is you arrest me, take me to court, I go through the judicial process. That is where my guilty or innocence will be determined. But now resorting to abduction, it is very unfortunate. And it is true, Kenyans are being abducted. These are just, for them, these are just some of the cases that are coming into the mainstream media. How many people have disappeared? For us, there was Kiamaiko 3 up to date that have never been found. It is now more than around 4 years, 4 to 5 years. They have never been found. So the reality is, we are also dealing with a rogue government, and the most heartbreaking part is that Ruto, the president, committed himself that abduction, extrajudicial killings will be a thing of the past once he gets into the power. But that is not the reality. But nobody is being held accountable. All we are being treated is theatrics, denial here and there. But from our own analysis, these are tactics by the government to be able to instill fear in Kenyans, to be able to curtail the right to protest, Article 37 of the Constitution. Because Makio, when there was demonstration and goons taking over, Outer Ring Road was paralyzed for more than 5 hours. And GSU headquarters is just a few meters away there. So it was by intentional, just let the people steal, loot, and then now the public will shift the attention from accountability, of demanding accountability from police to stop abducting and torturing Kenyans, to the fact that now people will start criminalizing the right to protest. That is what they're trying to be able to do, so that Kenyans do not speak out, do not come out. You intimidate them, you threaten them, you instill fear in them, you torture them. But that is not the kind of a country that we want. For us, for the generation to come, we demand accountability. There has been 2 billion taxpayers' money that was set aside for reparation. But we are asking, compensation without accountability is not justice. So if you are going today to, I come out to the street, because what took us to the street on the year 2024 was corruption, bad governance, leaders who are not representing the people. That is what took Kenyans to the street. They were demanding prudent use of their taxes. But you go out in the street demanding for your taxes to be utilized effectively, you get killed, you get shot, and then I use your taxes to pay you, without the surety that I will stop killing you. And that is why we are also demanding that you rather not pay us, but stop killing us, stop abducting us, stop torturing us, stop intimidating us. Because we are the civil actors working within our communities. We have become a target. It is not a crime to be a human rights defender. It is not a crime to be an activist. It is not a crime to be an active citizen. By the virtue of Article 3 of the Constitution, we are all human rights defenders. And in fact, police are the first human rights defenders, because they are there to protect life. They are the people mandated with that responsibility. So Article 3 of the Constitution demand us to be able to respect, uphold, and defend the Constitution. So when the Constitution is being violated, we live in a community where you can even access water, clean water. We get water two days a week. That is Saturday and Sunday. So when you come out to advocate for water, when you come out and advocate that, as we speak, the grade 10 who have not been, the young school-going children from grade 9 don't need to transit to grade 9, who are yet back at home, they're not going to school. These people, at the end of the day, their future is going to be shattered, because they'll engage in drugs issues of teenage pregnancy. So there's a lot of issues that are happening within our community, and we're just taking action to be able to bridge the gap and complement the work of the government. We are not against the government, but also demanding accountability, because even as the taxpayers and as voters, our role do not end at the ballot box. That now when we voted on the year 2022, 9th August 2022, that our responsibility ends there. No. We have a continuous responsibility to hold the government accountable. That is an obligation of every Kenyan who is a taxpayer and who is a voter, because there were promises made by these people when they were campaigning. Each and every time they are collecting revenue, and these are the revenues that need to be able to ensure that we have access to adequate clean water. When you go to hospital, you can be able to access health services. When our children go to school, there are teachers, there are textbooks, infrastructures. But if these things are not happening, do you want us to be able to relax and sit down? Young people are unemployed. They're resorting to crime. They're resorting to issues of drugs and substance abuse. They're getting drained into issues of mental health. These are the things that we are talking about. We are living in a community where hata kuna social hall. Where will young people can come together, engage, and even devise a solution? Because we are talking about, we were promised that under Ruto leadership, young people will be the cornerstone of his leadership. Because we are the generation, we are the leaders of today, tomorrow, and every day. Are we being prepared for a better tomorrow? So these things are not happening within our communities. That is why we are coming out. You cannot, the only paying job in this country right now is being hired as a goon. That if today you decide to be able to be a patriotic Kenyan, that today whatever, for example, the work that I'm doing within Kariobangi Social Justice Center, where sometimes I organize a football tournament, we are being denied that you cannot carry out an activity that is aimed to bring young people together, engage with them, and talk about issues of drug and abuse, talk about issues of mental health. If you are shrinking the civic space, if you are curtailing Article 36, Article 37, which kind of a country are we going to be able to live in? It is not a crime, but at the end of the day, rather than being supported, celebrated, and given an opportunity to continue doing good work that we are doing, because it's a collective responsibility, because when I organize a cleanup, I'm educating the community around collective responsibility of conserving our environment and taking responsibility within the community perspective. But if I'm not, I'm still being, when that which I'm doing, that work that I'm doing will lead to me being abducted, tortured, killed, yet there is someone who is a criminal, a goon, is being rewarded at the board, being given job opportunity. So which kind of values are we inculcating our children in our children? Which message are we sending to the younger generation? So it is very unfortunate. But our urge is, Collins is strong, and I can be able to congratulate him for being able to tell his story. Someone like Davis Lechuma is yet even to be able to speak. He cannot still speak. We don't understand what even transpired and what happened to him. Yeah. Will they be able, where is the surety that they'll be able to get justice? I want to live in a country where I do not have to watch my back, that my mother should continue to live in fear. We are tormenting parents. Our mothers are each and every day are living in fear. When we were having the conversation, when we were looking for Davis Lechuma, Dife, we had a conversation with the mother. And she narrated a day before Dife went to the street, how she was worried on 24th and asked his son, please do not go to the street. But the son defied and told her, Mom, I have to go. These were people I was with them in the street. I'm lucky to be alive. So I just want to go and lay a flower to remember them, to ensure that at the end of the day, it is okay to be able to fight for your country. Put your life in danger to stand for what is bigger than you. He ended up again being abducted. Then those responsible, people mandated with the responsibility to ensure the safety of Kenyans, comes and mock and say, those are people who are sleeping in their bedroom.
Yeah. Okay, we're having bitter narrations. But okay, looking at these scenarios, you were taken from the streets and we saw everything that surrounded, and you've given the narration till the point whereby we had you are being tortured at night. So the expectation, the public expectation was, and according to the law, you are supposed to be produced before the court the following day, which was a Friday, which never happened. So I want to understand what was happening behind those closed doors to an extent that the police themselves or whoever was torturing you was not able to produce you before the courts.
Even as for me, every time you have been arrested, because I've been arrested so many times, and there is no day we have the police have failed to take us to court. Even me, I thought that maybe we'll be produced to court tomorrow, and no, it was another different story, where the court was in that room where you were. In case instead of you going before a judge or magistrate, you are before a police officer torturing you. Those people, they don't have mercy. If you ask for water, instead of them giving you water with a cup, they will come and pour it on your eyes to drink. So how do you expect me to drink water like that? That room is the one, if you want to go to the toilet, you use. So I was begging them, why are you doing this to me? Why can't you forgive me? Even if it's that street, I will leave. I will not go to the street. I will stop going to the street. They couldn't listen. What came to my mind it was that the next thing is them to kill me now. Because the person who is beating you, you are not seeing him. He's just speaking with you, yet he doesn't give you a chance to answer the question that he's asking you. Until the day ended, that day on Friday. It was now on Saturday at 1 at night now. They came for us. One stepped on me, on my head like this with the boots, telling me that we are still watching you. Don't you try to narrate anything that happened to you with anybody. And I told them, yes, I will not. Us walking, we found someone. We are begging him for money, for him to give us money, for us to move, because we were not safe at all. And he told us that he don't have money. I don't know what he was doing at that time. Asking him time, it was 2 at night. So thank God we got to stage 4. We got 2 men. We told them, please just take us to All Saint Cathedral. You are going to be paid. And we don't know who was going to pay them. We just wanted to leave that area. And they agreed. Reaching All Saint Cathedral, the soldiers who are guarding there, they denied us. They told us, no, you cannot enter here. Then I had a number of Defenders Coalition. And I asked him also the phone. I asked the same soldier, can you help me with the phone? He told us to leave before I call the police. And one of the boda said, I have a phone. I give him the number. I called Defenders Coalition, and they were directed to take us to the nearest hospital. And then they were paid, and we were admitted there. Yeah.
So looking at these are the definition of a complete defiance of the Constitution and its demands. You are arrested but not put before the court for proceedings. So what does it tell you when the people put in power that defying the Constitution themselves and the legal procedures?
I think since Ruto got into power, he has defied more than, I don't know, it is now 100 court orders or how many court orders that have been defied in this country.
Yeah.
So it is like normal. Utadu, I'm in the power. The power. You see, we are abusing the power. People have never realized that they're acting on a borrowed power.
Yeah, and on that point, ladies and gentlemen, it is interesting to listen to the conversation. And we just take a short break here on the Majority Podcast, and we'll be back with the second part on the justice. Tune in.